I listen to you. I hear Eric speak. I listen to Carrie. I listen to other people, man. So we learning, man. So it's that English. That westernized word teacher. Nevertheless, so I just think it's
I think you knocked yourself off.
You wanna know what my definition of freedom is? Alright. I'm gonna break it down to you right now. It's my song. Freedom's when you want them but don't need them. You can have a kid and not have to catch a bid to feed him. When a man's skin don't determine how you treat him. White cops ain't screaming. Keep your hands where I can see them. See, I'm trying to lead them where Martin Luther was dreaming. But first we gotta make sure our Constitution is even. How we even believe in a system where the meaning of justice is they cuff us to stop our breathing. Nah, we ain't thieving, we retrieving what they stole from us. Ain't even received the 40 acres that they owe to us. No mules, just guns, no schools. They gave us cocaine in a game with no rules and told us to play. And then they say don't lose, ain't no fucking way. Mama ain't raised no fool, it's nothing but a dead end, grave or a fed pen. You doing life cause they put wires on your best friend. I'm trying to save the next generation from the same fate. They fishing, trying to catch our kids with the same bait. They can't wait to put shackles on our babies. They point at Chirac, and they acting like they crazy. But they deprived them babies, no food, schools closed. They took the Jews, and they giving us the fool's gold. Motherfucker, Hugh Blow. It's time to change the mission. Let's play chess and put our pieces in position. Yeah, we want equality, but first we need equity. Honestly, America should have a fucking check for me. For reparations, murder and deprivation. The slave trade wiped out 3 of our generations. They won't admit that, so we ain't gonna get that. Now it's time we build our own. Is you with that? So call Diddy, Oprah, Magic, J, and LeBron. Tell them put their money together and it's on. We can have our own society, build our own economy. That's what I call freedom in its entirety. Till we stop thinking I and start thinking we ain't gonna never be free. Until we stop thinking I and start thinking we ain't gonna never be free. What's free? Free is when we stop being too blind to see. Free is when Kaepernick ain't gotta take a knee. Free is when I see you and know when you free, then I'm free too. One more time, what's free? Free is when nobody hungry, everybody eat. Free is when these kids ain't gotta be up in the street. Free is when our people know if you feed me, then I feed you. That's free.
Peace, family. Peace, peace, peace. Hey, man, welcome to Sankofa 180 degrees, man. Thanks for joining. How y'all doing today, man? Everybody all right? Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
All right, man. Hey, man, so just want everybody to go ahead and introduce themselves, man. Go ahead, you can start, man.
Hey, what's up? It's on getting the house for sure, man. I be feeling better, and I just want to throw up a little, assistance from the ancestors to one of our brothers, man. That's struggling to make it to the top, man. But I don't think he's giving up, and we ain't giving up on him. So just throw up a little thunder for the boys, man, for the ancestors to tap in on his ass, right? And we were just discussing about, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, information and stuff like that. And I'm really thankful that Jamie was up on this game because I was trying to crack that head. He attacked me. He really did. He really did. We got that smooth way of passing on information, man. And I'm really glad that I was able to get it. So, welcome to Sankofa 180 degrees. And, with this platform, and this the information that we absorb in connection with the Nile Valley mystery system, the culture, the traditions, the natural rules, the history, um, things just have a more solidified core, and then when I go about out in the world, whatever I'm talking about, and definitely the ripple effect is a lot more wholesome, And Gerald was talking about know thyself, and he was talking about being a teacher and helping somebody to remember and things like that. And I think the difference between that is when you know thyself, man, you just keep reteaching yourself, right? And everything else is academia to me. So there it is. And don't forget next week. Next week we got the children's show. All right, 2 p.m. Bring your kids in and let them get some of this real history, real events, real people, real locations, real timelines, right? Real interesting stuff so they can see themselves in the picture. All right. So, big ups to the panel and welcome to Sankofa 180 degrees. Thank you, Jamie, for, always being present and putting this on and, doing what we do, man. Bless you, God.
So, man, no problem, King. And man, that's what we got to do, man. We got to push this information, King. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to do. We got to push this information, man. And hopefully, man, we get people to wake up. Peace, Gerald. What's going on, King?
What to do? Back again, Brother Gerald out of H-Town. Peace to you, Jamie. Peace to Young. Peace to you, Ken. Peace to the panel. Sankofa 180 crew. Back again every Sunday. Peace to the audience, anybody who out there coming to check us out. Happy that y'all sticking with us. Ready for this presentation today with Brother Jamie, dealing with some of this history of Christianity and how it affected our people back in the day. So happy to be here again, and that's about it.
Hey man, how Auntie doing over there, man?
Auntie out there on the balcony. It's a little chilly out there, but the sun out, so she getting it in. So Auntie ain't got no problem. She good. Happy as hell, So.
Hey, Auntie gonna get that vitamin D, rain or shine. It don't matter.
Already.
Vitamin B12 too. She gonna get it all, man.
Yeah.
Peace to you, Carrie. Peace to the Queen. Peace. How you doing?
Thank you, King. Good to see all of you guys, and I'm looking forward to this. I didn't know a lot about the papal bull or the decrees from the Catholic Church that were issued by the Pope. When I grew up, my dad was Catholic, my mom was Methodist, so we switched every other week and went to church, and that'll screw you right up, let me tell you that. And I didn't know about this, and it's that it was generational decrees. I mean, they wanted not only the current generation, but to pass it on, to the next generation, and on and on and on. And it's disgusting to me. So I'm really looking forward to this presentation and learning more. And I watched the little video that Lo put on, and that really sparked my interest. And so I really am looking forward to this. And anyway, I'm thankful to be here, and I appreciate all you guys and appreciate all the work that you put in, Jamie, to organize everything. And you're right, on top of it. And you too, Lo and Gerald, and it has helped me to learn a lot. So glad to be here.
Need some water.
Hey,
We
so
just
listen, man.
Up, Auntie.
Hey, we're gonna go ahead and get started, man. If y'all don't mind. So I'm gonna just do a little reading. I'm gonna do just a little bit of reading, and then we had to get some visuals, man. I just want to put a little context to what we're talking about here, man. So we're talking about slavery, slavery, slave trade, man. It's transatlantic slave trade. And so I'm just trying to put some context to what, where it even began at, right? And so I wanted to give kind of like context to what is called the Babylonian Talmud, right? If anybody has ever heard of that. I mean, I'm sure you have, but hold on, wait a minute. Okay, anyway, so all right, so what I want to do is go through and I'm gonna read a little bit about what the Talmud is, okay? So hold on.
There's some wretched folk, man, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, man.
They don't like us at all.
It's something else, man. It's something different, King. So y'all see that right there?
Yep.
All right, the Talmud, man. So this is out of this is just out of Wikipedia. I just want to let y'all know that this where this come from, Wikipedia. So it's just some to just give you some context, man. It ain't no. So this ain't nothing that you gotta, I mean, this is pretty much what it is, right? They're not trying to trick you or take you anywhere else, right? But this is the Babylon out of the Babylonian. This is what I'm gonna be reading out of. I'll read a little short something out of the Babylonian Talmud, right? But I just wanted to give you a little context of what the Babylonian Talmud was, okay? And so it's a central text of rabbinical Judaism and the primary source of Jewish religious law. And they call that halakha and Jewish theology. Until the event of modernity, excuse me, in the nearly all Jewish communities, the Talmud was the centerpiece of Jewish cultural life and was foundational to all Jewish thought and aspirations, serving also as the grade for the daily life of Jews. The term Talmud normally refers to the collection of writings named specifically the Babylonian Talmud, right? Although there's also an earlier collection known as the Jerusalem Talmud, right? Talmud, Halami, however you guys can play with that. It may also traditionally be called Shas, a Hebrew abbreviation of Shas or Siddarium, or the six orders of the Mashana. The Talmud has two components: the Mashana, and that is 200 CE, a written compendium of the oral Torah, and the Gemara, which is 500 CE, and it's a elucidation of the Mashana and the related Tanaitic writings that often ventures onto other subjects and expounds broadly on the Hebrew Bible. The term Talmud may refer to either the Gemara alone or the Mishnah and Gemara together. So the entire Talmud consists of 63 tractates and the standard print called the Vilna Shas. There are 2,711 double-sided folios. It is written in Mishnaic Hebrew and Jewish Babylonian Aramaic, and contains the teachings and opinions of thousands of rabbis dating from before the Common Era, okay, through to the 5th century, on to variety of subjects, including halakha, Jewish ethics, philosophy, custom history, and folklore, and many other topics. The Talmud is the basis of all codes of Jewish law and is widely quoted in rabbinic literature. Right. So
they go back a long way, man.
they go back a long way, right? Because this is, you know, this is during the time of the oral Torah, and then they talking about. So you got to think that this is the basis of all codes of Jewish law. So this Talmud is kind of important to Judaism.
Hey,
Very, very important.
go up to that Euclidation and just hit that. It's
Where you
down
at?
right by that arrow. You near. Go back up. Go back up to the next paragraph.
Right here.
Yeah. What does that open up to?
So it's given to make clear the act of include elucidation or that which elucidation has an explanation, an exposition, and illustration.
All right. Right.
But okay, right. So this Talmud is very important to the Jewish law, man. Right. And here's a piece out of it. So it says, now I cannot beget the fourth son whose children I would have ordered to serve you and your brothers. Therefore it must be Canaan, your firstborn who they enslave. And since you have disabled me, doing ugly things in blackness of black, moreover. Now that right there is kind of confusing. I mean, what did he do to the dude, right? That's a real good question, right? Moreover, because you twisted your head around to see my nakedness. Oh, hold on. I skipped something.
Yeah.
It says, therefore it must be Canaan, your firstborn, whom they enslaved. And since you have disabled me, doing ugly things in blackness of night, Canaan's children should be born ugly and black. Moreover, because you twisted your head around to see my nakedness, your grandchildren's hair shall be twisted into kinks, and their eyes red. Again, because your lips jested at my misfortune, there shall swell. And because you neglected my nakedness, they shall go naked, and their male members shall be shamefully elongated. Men of this race are called Negroes. Their forefather Canaan commanded them to love theft and fornication, to be banded together in hatred of their masters, and never to tell the truth. So this is directly out of the Jewish Talmud right here. So this is the curse that is put on. So they started out you being enslaved, right? So this is where we get into. This is where we're gonna start getting into the slavery part, right?
They also, go hard on, the degradation of black people, just in that part right there, but throughout the Talmud, and then how bad black is, how degrading black is, and then they act like it's a total disgrace to be elongated instead of instead of show chop.
Right.
I'm just saying, man. But they're all through that Talmud, man. It's just reckless like that, towards us.
Right. Exactly. So now I wanted to get to a papal bull. Now this is again out of Wikipedia. Okay. And it's just giving some context of what a papal bull is. Okay. A papal bull is a type of public decree, letters, patented, or charter issued by a pope of the Catholic Church. It is named after a leading seal, bulla, traditionally appended to authenticate it. Papal bulls have been in use at least since the 6th century, but the phrase was not used until around the end of the 13th century, and then only initially internally for official administrative purposes. However, it had become official by the 15th century, when one of the offices of the apostolic chancery, apostolic chancery was named the Register of Bulls, Registrum Bullorum, by the ascension of Pope Leo. What is that? The 11th? Is that the 11th? 9th?
What is that,
That's the
Kerry?
9th. That's the 9th, ain't it?
Yeah, I think
Ninth.
that's the ninth.
Yeah, that's the 9th.
Not
Yeah, Pope Leo the 9th in 1048. A clear distinction developed between two classes of bulls of greater and lesser solemnity. Solemnity.
Can't see it.
You can't see that. Where's that? Okay.
Solemnity.
The majority, the majority of the great bulls now in existence are in the nature of confirmation of property or charters of protection and accorded to monasteries and religious institutions. In an era when there was much fabrication of such documents, those who procured bulls from Rome wished to ensure that the authenticity of their bulls were above suspicion. A papal confirmation under certain conditions could be pleaded as itself constituting sufficient evidence of title in cases where the original deed has been lost or destroyed. Since the 12th century, papal bulls have carried a laden seal with the head of the apostles St. Peter and St. Paul on one side and the Pope's name on the other. Papal bulls were originally issued by the Pope for many kinds of communication of a public nature. But by the 13th century, papal bulls were only used for the most formal or solemn occasions. Papyrus seems to have been used almost uniformly as the material for these documents until the early years of the 11th century, after which it was rapidly superseded by a rough kind of parchment. Modern scholars have retroactively used the word bull to describe any elaborate papal document issued in the form of decree or privilege, solemn or simple, and to some less elaborate ones issued in the form of a letter. Popularly, whatever the hell that is, popularly, the name is used for any papal document that contains a metal seal. Today, the bull is the only written communication in which the Pope will refer to himself as Episcopus Servus Servorum, D, Bishop Servant and Servants of God. While papal bulls are always used to bear a metal seal, they now do so only on the most solemn occasions. A papal bull is today the most formal type of public decree or letters patent issued by the Vatican chancery in the name of the Pope. So they're just showing the power these papal bulls have.
Let me just jump in real quick. So I'm just looking at, where can papyrus be found, right? Papyrus is a seed that naturally grows in the shallow waters and wet soils. Each stem is topped with feather dusters, like growth around the southern Mediterranean where it occurs, and the vast strands in the swamps, shallow lakes, and along stream banks throughout the wetter parts of Africa. I just wanted to make note of that.
Right.
The papyrus.
Yeah,
the papyrus plant. The papyrus plant is indigenous to the Nile Valley.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So here is a list of the papal bulls, right? And I got there's a lot of them, man. I'm down to the 15th century, but they got them all the way from the 11th century, right, all the way down to the 21st century, King. Okay. but I was focusing on a few of them down here in the 15th century, and one of the prominent ones, or the ones that I focused on, was Pope Nicholas V. If anybody want to, go into him and look him up, you can. But Pope Nicholas V, born Tommasio, whatever that name is, was head of the Catholic Church and ruler of the Papal States from March 6, 1447, until his death in March 1455. Pope Eugene IV made him a cardinal in 1446 after successful trips to Italy and Germany, and whatever. And when Eugene died, the next it goes in. We can go into it if you want to, but I just wanted to show you who this dude was.
And some of those popes, they gave a different name, and then that name became more prominent and more used over, so they documented as that nickname. I'm not saying
Right.
that one is, but I read a few of them that was. So I just wanted to ask, I'm sure you're going to share the information of why you picked it, but why did you pick Nicholas V?
Well, because this is around about the time. This is before. This is before Columbus. So I mean, the story of Columbus. Let's just go to say that this is before the story of Columbus. So I just wanted to take you back this far. I wanted to take you back this far. I mean, because you can go. I mean, I'm just leaving it for everybody else. Y'all can go up to the 14th, 13th. You can go through all of them, because all of them, I mean, they're papal bulls that these popes are writing, making the kings at the time, make these moves, whatever moves that they tell them to make, and we're gonna go through a couple of them that they did that kind of introducing, or showing you where the idea of enslaving and colonizing people come from, right? Where this idea come from and how it came about, right? And who's responsible for it, right? So
Yeah, I thought it was slick that me and Jamie talked earlier, and I thought it was slick how he correlated, Columbus landing to Nicholas in his business.
Well, yeah, because now Columbus is in 1492, so this is like 40 years before Columbus. This is 40 years before Columbus. So you can see where their head was at, even 40 years before Columbus even sailed the ocean blue, right? So, and then we're going, and then Gerald shot me something that that show you some visual on right shit, what was that? Right after, what was it, like right after Columbus. So I wanted to show y'all the Dum Diverses, man. And the Dum Diverses, right, is a papal bull issued on June 18, 1452 by Pope Nicholas V, addressed to Alfonso V, looks like, of Portugal. It recognized Portugal's right to territories it had discovered along the West African coast, and the reduction of the infidels and non-Christian territories of perpetual vassals of the Christian monarch. That just means perpetual slaves of the Christian monarch. Okay. It says Pope Calixtus III reiterated this in the 1456 bull Inter Caetera, not to be confused with Alexander the Ninth bull of the same title, renewed by Pope Sixtus IX in 1481, and Pope Leo X in 1514 with precise denotions, the concept of consignment of exclusive spheres of influence to certain nation states was extended to the Americas in 1493 by Pope Alexander IX with Inter Caetera. And we're gonna get into him because he's now this is right. This is supposed to be like 6 months after Columbus, right here. So you're gonna get into it. So I'm gonna show you a papal bull that he wrote. So this is what the Dumb Diversus. This is what the Dumb Diversus says. Now we can go. You guys can go into it. I'm not gonna read all this, but you know, I'll read some of it. By the summer of 1452, Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II had completed the Ramulisari fortress on the western or European side of Bosporus, located several miles north of Constantinople, and commanded the narrowest part of the strait. Byzantine Emperor Constantine IX wrote to Pope Nicholas for help. Issued less than a year before the fall of Constantinople in 1453, the bull may have been intended to begin another crusade against the Ottoman Empire. It was not until Alphonse V of Portugal responded to a papal call for aid against the Turks that Pope Nicholas V agreed to support the Portuguese claim regarding territory in Africa. Although some troops arrived from the mercantile city-states in the north of Italy, Pope Nicholas did not have the influence of the Byzantines. So the Byzantines thought that he had over the Western kings and princes. France and England were both weakened by the hundred years war, and Spain was still engaged in conflict with Islamic strongholds in Liberia. Any Western contribution was not adequate to counterbalance Ottoman strength. In the 15th century, Portugal in the mid 15th century Portugal, the ideas of chivalric honor and crusading were seen as the path of ambition and success. During the reign of Alphonse V, the Portuguese nobility enjoyed great influence and prestige, and for several decades, the House of Braganza was the wealthiest and most influential force in the kingdom. In 1415, the wisdom and the justice of an attack on Morocco had to be seriously weighed. But during the reign of Alphonse V and for the century afterwards, such enterprises were accepted as self-justifying crusades for religion and chivalry and honor. I don't want to read the rest of all that, man, but I'm just saying you guys can go into it. The Dumb Diversus, check it out. It's real interesting. And then they got the one that's up under it, Ecclesia.
Ecclesia.
Yeah. Yeah, that one. Yeah, hey, so that's the papal bull issued by the same Pope, Pope Nicholas V, on September 30th, 1453, in response to the fall of Constantinople to the Ottoman Empire. All right, and then you go down a little farther, you go to Romanus Pontifex or Roman Pontiff, right, in 1455, right? And this right here, praising Catholic King Alphonse V of Portugal for his battles against the Muslims, endorsing his military expeditions into West Africa, and instructing him to capture and subdue all Saracens, Turks, and other non-Christians to reduce their persons to perpetual slavery. Right. So this is so all this is all so what I'm getting is what I'm getting at, man, is just showing you that these these popes are writing this stuff, and this is becoming law. So they write it, and it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's just amazing to me how they can just write about another country, and I don't think I got into that one part, did I, man? About let me see, when where was he? Uh, let me see. So what this is, so this one right here is, so it's so let me see. Let me keep on. The Saracens, Turks, and perpetual slavery. The church leaders argued that the slavery served as a natural deterrent and Christianizing influence to barbarous behavior among pagans. As a follow-up to the bull dumb diverses, the church leaders now took position aside the crown of Portugal that it was entitled to the domain over all land south of Cape Bajorder in Africa. The bull's primary purpose was to forbid other Christian kings from infringing the kings of Portugal's practice of trading and colonization in these regions, particularly amid the Portuguese and Castilians competition for the
Ascendancy.
ascendancy over new land discovered. You know, so I mean, these people they just taking land, man. They just taking land. You know, they're so my man right here, he's really this dude right here, Alexander the Ninth. He's really something, man.
So let Carrie explain to you the Roman numerals real quick.
All right, go ahead, man.
Okay, so if you have a V or an X or whatever it is, and then if the 1 is to the left, it's minus. So it would be, if you had 1V, it'd be 4. If you had V1, it's plus, so it would be 6. That's an easy way to remember it.
Right.
To the left is minus, to the right of the Roman numeral is plus.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So this one right here, this is another. Okay, hold on. Not this one. I want to go to the one that Gerald had though, y'all. So y'all just hold on for a second. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, just hold on a second. I appreciate that, Carrie.
No worries.
That's a lot of information in there, Jamie, to research. I mean, I was all over the place with stuff. So, thanks for that visual.
Oh, for sure, man. Hold on for a second, y'all. I want to get this one that Gerald sent me, man.
To try to put a perspective on it, anybody can explain ISIS when they was at their greatest point?
No.
Okay. ISIS had the concept of coming, but they believed in jihad, right? If you didn't believe in what they believed in, they came to your territory and they warred on you. You were infidel if you didn't believe what, and they was going to impose their culture upon you. That makes sense?
Right. That's right.
And ISIS at one time was taking over all them parts, wherever they was. That's what they did. When you hear what these what do they call doom I'm forgetting the name of them.
Pepper Bulls.
Paper bulls. And they declaring that anybody that's not a Christian and we finna go to their land, that's the same thing as a jihad. We declaring war on you simply because you have a different beliefs than I do. And by that, for you are barbarians, you are infidels to us. You know,
And
we're
you
gonna
fair
do what we
game.
want to do to you,
And
and
you fair
eventually,
game.
if you don't convert, we'll kill you. And if you convert, you're gonna be doing what we doing, even if it's to your own people.
Right.
So they labeled them barbarians, and then they went barbaric on them.
Again, an excuse, you
Right.
know, an excuse. But they saying that they sanction it's religious. So it's almost like, really? Just do it. Why would you even put it on religion?
Exactly. That's what I was just thinking too.
Yeah.
Right. It was an excuse for power and land and
That's
wealth.
right.
And it was BS. Yeah.
And so this one right here is really gonna take the cake, because this is Pope Alexander the Ninth, right?
No,
This,
that's it. Is that the
oh,
ninth
that's
kid?
it. Yeah, no, that's the
11.
11th. That's the
And then,
11th,
no,
right?
that's 6. 4. It's 5 plus 1. So 6.
Oh, that's 6. Okay, the 6. I'm sorry.
Because X
I don't
would
know
be
why. Yeah,
10.
the X is 10. That's right. All right. So Pope Alexander the Sixth, Intercatera, among other works, was a papal bull issued by Pope Alexander the Sixth on the 4th of May, 1493, which granted the rights of Spain and Portugal to colonize, convert, and enslave. He authorized Spain and Portugal to colonize the Americas and its native people as subjects, and it also justifies the enslavement of Africans. Intercatera states that barbarous nations be overthrown and brought to the faith itself. We assign to you and your heirs and successors. This is deep right here. We assign to you and your heirs and successors, kings of castles and Leon, all islands and mainlands found and to be found, discovered and to be discovered. So they talking about shit that ain't been found yet, you can have, and stuff that you ain't discovered yet, you can have. That's yours too. Right, right.
It
Like
ain't
that
it, it
code.
ain't that it ain't that it's, it ain't like it ain't somebody's stuff, man. But since you discover it, you can take it.
No, since they ain't Christian, or since they ain't Christian, you can take it. See,
Right.
that's what this is about right now. See, right? Uh, and it says discovered and to be discovered towards the west and south by drawing and establishing a line from the north to the south, and said the said line to be distant 100 leagues towards the west and south from any of the islands commonly known as Azores and Cape Verde. And we make a point and dispute you and your said heirs and successors, lords of them, and with full and free power, authority, and justification of every kind. This is
Wow.
cold, man. And so then it says right here, 6 months after Columbus discovery, Pope Alexander the Sixth calls for barbarous nations to be subjugated and brought to the Catholic faith and Christian religion for the propagation of Christian empire of the Christian empire. If a Christian enters the land of non-Christians, their land becomes the possession of the discoverers. All lands west of the median, 100 leagues west of the Cape Verde Islands, would belong to Spain. 340 5 miles, all discovered lands east of the land will belong to Portugal. So they're writing, and they're splitting up and divvying up land. This is what this is about, man. And they're colonizing, and they're getting slaves. Now this is 1493.
Just 1 second. Hey, Gerald, can you pull up a map that depicts that that land that was covered, all lands west of the median 100 leagues? I don't know if you can or not. I'm just asking because you're familiar.
It's on another one of them posts, I think.
Yeah,
that I had.
go ahead. Go ahead, Jamie.
Yeah. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so go back here, man. And so now what I want to do now, King, is Unc sent me a couple of good joints, man. They're real short videos. Just want to give some more context on what was going on some of these plantations and how some of these, what was going on with some of these slaves, some of the stories, right? Now I'm gonna say this: viewer discretion is advised. Okay, viewer discretion is advised. I gotta say that. I'm gonna say that, right? These ain't, okay. So okay, I just want y'all to know. Hold on.
You can give credit to the video. There it is, right there. So you're talking about the ex-slaves that talk about slavery in the USA? Just give credit to the title, whatever one you're gonna play.
I got it. Oh, there you go, right there. Okay, so all right, so y'all see that?
Yeah.
All right, so the following content may contain suicide or self-harm topics. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, I want y'all to see that. Y'all got to see that. Okay, y'all got to see that.
Yeah, and that's the horrifying way slaves were killed, and that's published by at least on Facebook from the
Ancient Blacks.
Ancient Blacks.
Mm-hmm.
So just giving credit to them for letting us use this and give credit.
This is Ancient Blacks video. I just wanted to show y'all that this is horrifying ways slaves were killed. Okay, during slavery. Okay. All right, I just want to make sure y'all know this, man, so we can. I hope this don't get us.
Slaves were nothing but properties to their masters. They had been treated unsympathetically. Their punishments were horrific and inhuman. Slaves were nothing but properties to their masters. They had been treated unsympathetically. Their punishments were horrific and inhuman. Slaves' masters controls the general condition of their slaves' lives, including their movements, what they eat, their families, properties and even their lives. Slaves' masters had the right to deny their slaves from marrying. In general, a slave had few rights over his spouse and offspring. Many slaves lost their lives because of the cruel and dehumanized treatments by their masters. Slaves were killed by cruel executions depending on their offenses. These are the most horrifying ways slaves had died. 1. Brutal whipping. Whipping is the main method of punishing slaves. The beatings and whippings are usually horrific. Pregnant women, the young and even the gray-haired were not exempted. Number of lashes depends on the seriousness of the offense. Slaves were whipped daily. Not necessarily on offenses, sometimes abuse was performed. A lot of times they were whipped without wrongdoing, to demoralize them and keep them bent to their work. A slave can receive up to 500 lashes. Many slaves died while being brutally whipped. 2. Severely limited space. Slaves were cramped up horribly in order to maximize the amount of slaves for more profits they could make. Slaves were chained and squeezed in a very limited space. They were unable to go to the toilet, they had to lie on their own excretion. Sickness spread quickly, which leads to deaths of many slaves. They were bunched up so tightly that position were hardly changed regardless of the pregnant, young, or old. Many slaves died as a consequence of their physical conditions. Some died while waiting for a ship to fill, which can take up to 3 to 6 months before the kidnapping and capturing is complete. When the ship is filled up, the journey could take as long as 3 months. During this journey, unwanted slaves will be thrown into the ocean alive along with the body of the dead slaves. 3. Suicides. Some slave refused to eat, they starved themselves to death. The preferred death to the horrific journey, that involved torture, rape and even murder. Some slaves managed to get hold of weapons from slave traders, which they didn't use against the crew but themselves in act of suicide. Some jumped overboard to drown themselves. Many jumped together holding hands, with their fingers grasped together till the end. Although, slaves traders always tried to prevent slaves from taking their own lives. Because each death of slave reduced the profit of the journey. Slaves died in high rate from suicides. 4. Amputation of limbs. The punishment for slaves who tried to escape, or had escaped, and been captured again, are mostly amputations. If caught once, masters severely torture and starve the slave for days in order to warn him. But if it so happened that after this sort of harsh punishment slave repeat the same sin, leg or arm will be cut off. Many slaves died due to the pain during the amputation. Some wounds were left untreated, which results to death of many slaves. Five. Appalling executions. Slaves were mostly executed by hanging. But there were more terrifying ways slaves were put to death, such as chaining slaves to 3 till they starved to death. They were also burnt and boiled alive. Slaves were sentenced to death on minor faults. Many slaves died through this horrific executions.
Yeah, that's a cold piece right there, man.
I mean, that's just, and so, but this is what is written though. This is written by the popes. This is what the decree that, the Jewish Talmud said that we were supposed to be slaves, Canaanites, Canaan, black folks, Ham, they was cursed. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is the results of the papal bulls and this is the results, this is the results of it, because this is where that's where it starts. You feel me? It's where it starts. And again, man, you gotta understand that the them papal bulls, man, that was law. You couldn't get around that, King. That's straight law, man. It's the straight law right there, man.
Man, people, I think of the audacity, man, and, people propagate audacity when of them to use, religion for a personal gain, right? but I'm sitting here thinking, man, you know, that's what a religion is. You know, it's the same thing that Kerry opened up with. You know, the power, you know, the land, the you know, the submission of other people and stuff like that, man, and for personal gain. And so it isn't the audacity of religion, man. It's the audacity of people, period. You know, and that type of people.
It was just sad, man, that you know, people not seeing, man, that you know, a lot of our people is funding their own oppression by dealing with these Abrahamic faiths, man. You funding your own you funding your own oppression. That's what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Every time you put in that plate, every time you send them some bread, every time you give them some money, every time you give them some of your time, you funding your own oppression. You know what I mean? Like, you know, them people are not for you. Every time they build something, it's for them. It ain't for us. They building something over in the Vatican. They building something over there, you know, they building something for them. Another big mega church. You know what I mean? You know, another school. They ain't building nothing for you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They not helping you, man. None of them faiths gonna help you, man. Because they all come from the same one, the one we talking about right now. They all come from this.
You know, it just resembles, man, you know, what you brought up a while ago, you know, that you know, God never did the work himself. He always sent a messenger, right? And so they can't even take responsibility. And who would want to take responsibility of degrading somebody, you know, unless it comes to those terms where you got to stand up and say, you know, I did this, right? And I take the credit for it and I get the honor for it. You know, other than that, you know, they're going to put it on religion.
Right?
Go ahead, King. I'm sorry.
No. That's just what I was saying, man. You know, they're going to put it on religion. And so, you know, what good is that religion? You know what I mean? And we studied, you know, they wanted to take away, you know, that knowledge of self, man, know thyself and be thyself and, you know, the natures and the principles and, you know, the study of the stars and the cosmos and all that stuff, man, the known and all that, man. That's just reckless, man, you know, to push that agenda, you know, that you talked about with the papal bulls and the creeds and the councils and it just continues to, like Kerry brought up, you know, generational shit, you know.
Right.
Yeah, let's stop right there.
All right.
You said, or it says that we were barbarians, we were heathens.
Correct.
Meaning our way of life and the things that we studied were something negative.
Correct.
Some kind of times you'll hear us saying, shit, I'm glad I ain't still in Africa studying no worshiping a tree and stuff. So go back into making to the point that you say about the understanding of the Neteru, the understanding of nature. These are these points that if you could tell somebody or could make the connection with somebody, this is what they were against. The same things that we call knowledge of self is what these Christians were saying. And the same thing today. If you get into it today, as we've talked on that call, you're going to hell. The hell you talking about that knowledge? You
right.
heathen. You know what I'm saying? We tried to get you away from that.
Yeah, they want to pray for you. They want to pray for you. When you get to talking that, they want to pray for you. Oh, I'm gonna pray for you, man. You need Jesus, man. You need, you know what I mean? Like, boy, you just so twisted, man. Like,
get the devil up out of you.
You don't want to disrespect them. So you know, you just be like, man, when you're ready for some real information, then you talk to, you know, we can talk.
No, stop, Jamie. You the devil. Or was supposed to be. And Unc was the one that was in it. So again, Unc, what did he introduce you to that at one time you thought with some crazy stuff. You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And these
but
things that you
okay.
named that you called knowledge yourself, it just really happened with y'all two. You came to
Okay.
him with that BS. And at one
Okay.
time he said, that's why he giving you credit. He was just talking about how he messed with you. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Okay.
and you
So
brought him into the light.
I'm the devil. Okay. But
You
now
that barbarian shit that Pope was talking about.
hold on. But to the Muslim, their ass is barbaric and infidel, right? And to the Muslim, the Christian is an infidel and a barbarian. So we can go around in a circle with that. You feel
Okay,
me?
at this
Like, so
time,
I'm
the
the devil.
Christians on that decree is
To
calling the
another
Muslims.
to another denomination, you the devil.
Right.
You know
right.
what I'm saying? So so we can go around a circle with that. I mean, that don't, you're not saying none that that don't apply to you. If I'm the devil, you're not saying none to me that don't apply to you.
No,
Right.
what I was playing on the words is you introduce him into some African heathenism type of shit that would have been classified. Yeah, you introduced him into that, and he had to deal with it. And as he's saying now, he's getting out of himself, and he's talking about those certain things as what those things were that our people were doing back then is the same thing. When we say Sankofa, all we did was return back to it. It's the same shit.
Exactly.
If you look at that decree and they say they declaring these African nations who don't believe it, that this was having this concept was our knowledge of self.
Right.
It wasn't
And
about no greed or nothing and this, that, and the other.
no, but to them, but in their denomination, it's about take, kill, murder. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
There you go.
Right. You know, but that's that denomination.
Most religious, if you get into the zealots of it.
But the Islam is the same damn way. Kill,
right.
murder, take. So they
Good
all
against evil. You got to declare somebody evil.
They're the same goddamn people. They're not the Christians, the Muslims, the Judaism. They all the damn same, man. They have the same ways, the same the culture's damn near the same. It's all that shit is all
they got the same interest.
They got the same mindset, the same
roots.
The
roots
same,
are
the same thought patterns. You know what I'm saying? The same barbarism, barbarism. You know what I mean? They got the same. It ain't nothing different. Nothing changed. They're all the same. You know what I'm saying? They're all the same. They're all the same. They're all the damn same, man. Ain't no different, man. They just got some differences because somebody didn't like something the way something went. So okay, well, we're gonna break off and now we this. You know what I mean? Cut it out, man. You still, yeah, still a damn Christian. Whatever. Like I said, go ahead. You was muted.
Yeah. So Carrie gonna jump off for a minute, man. That video tapped her emotions, man, and she'll get back on if she can. You know, she can't. I mean, it's good. It's good stuff, man. You know, she's just emotional right now.
Yeah.
She just wanted to let you guys know. She ain't mad. She's just emotional.
Yeah. I get it, man. I mean, because
that's what it do.
But this is Christianity at its damn finest.
Right.
Call it Judaism. Okay, we can call it that too. This Judaism at its finest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
this is what people need to see.
Like
man.
I was saying, the Muslims they prayed to Jerusalem for a long time. They weren't praying in Mecca. They was praying to Jerusalem. And then they get pissed off, and then they start praying the other way. We don't want to pray that way no more. We don't pray this way now because they you know what I mean? That type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, you know what I mean? Ain't no different, man. Ain't no different, King.
I was on the maps, man. I was on the maps earlier this morning, man, to all the areas that we covering. And why the fuck they gotta come over and fuck with Africa, man? You know what I mean? Why do what in that statement that you put up there, they gotta, even consider coming over messing with Africa. Keep that shit over there, man. But of course we know why, man. We know why. So
listen, man, you come from it's a war culture. They got a war god. Like what else you expect? And then you got people that don't have a whole lot of resources. So, it's all about kill and eat. They got to kill to eat. We didn't have to kill to eat. We just go pick something up off the vine outside.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, so you come from a killer culture, man. Bloody culture.
Yeah. Hey, Gerald, that was a good point you brought up, man. A good subject to jump on real quick. Like we did. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
6 years ago, I posted a clip of a 1999 ABC News story on voice recordings preserved by the Library of Congress. These recordings were actual voices of Black Americans who were slaves in the United States. The video got over 10 million views and 500,000 comments.
Hey, pause that just for a second, James.
Yeah, let me go ahead.
So this is what Carrie experienced is what people are trying to protect their children from, in a sense, because it's so real. You know what I mean? And that stuff runs through that bloodline, right? And what all we trying to say is, stop that shit. View this. Do you really want this? See the pain, see the struggle, see the encroachment of your own bloodline, right? And then we go into the faiths, right? The religions. They call us barbaric. We're the heathenists, right? And all we're doing is trying to unite and be community oriented, right? And represent our divine self, right? So instead of being that barbaric, and we're the Hellenistic ones, so it's just a damn shame, man. And if people don't wake up, man, and see this type of stuff and express and what's the word I want to use? Not run away from their feelings and stuff like that. And I'm not saying Carrie did. I'm just saying that, with this culture, cancel culture stuff, man, and, it's just more prejudice, man, and more barbarianism. So, I'm glad we show this type of stuff, man. I'm glad we go in deep like that. I'm glad that Gerald, imparts his stuff and Jamie comes back with, hold up a minute, let's get some more information in there. That's my type of shit, man. And that's what I think we all need. To sit down and view this shit, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, listen, man. This is just history. It ain't nothing that I made up. Ain't nothing that I wrote. This is just something that's out here. It's out here for everybody to go look. And it ain't nothing hidden. It's not hidden. It's not nothing secret. It's out here. It's all about if you want to know about it, man. Now, if you're comfortable with just believing, then that, man. I mean, that's fine. I'm just saying, I'd rather know than believe. That way I ain't gotta believe no more. I know now. So I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to get you to see where this stuff is coming from. You know what I mean? Where is this stuff coming from? Because if you go back to the Papal Bulls, you can go all the way to the 11th century. You start up there, and you'll see that they're starting crusades back then. As they got like the first crusades back then, where they going in start taking states, to start taking stuff at that point. You know what I'm saying? So you can see that, man, and you can see where they went in and it'll show you where they went in on Egypt. They went in, but they went in there. They went in there. They show when they went in there. I'm just saying, like King, like
they gave reference to it back in the 4th and 5th dynasty. I mean, dynastic periods, 4th and 5th centuries. I mean,
yeah,
right. So, I mean, this shit just needs to be, shown and get that motherfucking heathen up out them people, man. Now, what we supposed to do, man? Just lay down, and if we want to focus on the black people, getting revenge and and then thus hurting, our own people as well, so.
No, we ain't got to do that no more, man, because we got this information out here now. We can put
Exactly.
it out here. We can put it out here now, and they can get mad about it. But I mean, I like I said, I didn't write this. I didn't make any of this up. You know what I'm saying? This is just what it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just information that's public to anybody. I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, so don't be mad at me. You know what I mean? I didn't do it. This video is by John Brooks. You can go look at it on YouTube, but it's by John Brooks. It's called "Ex-Slaves Talk About Slavery in the USA." You know what I'm saying? So I just want to give where this came from and show y'all that this is real slave the ex-slaves. So it's only 11 minutes.
All right, see if Gerald want to say something on that.
Yeah, go ahead, Gerald.
Before we get to that one.
Oh no, I'm good. Excuse me, I went away, messed with my auntie. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't want to add anything? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Let me see. Let me get us there. So like I said, this is by John Brooks. And y'all can check this out on YouTube. Just want to,
down in order to stay in line with their new policies. So I'm now reposting it with a brief commentary and explanation. I'll have more thoughts at the end of the recording, so I'd like you to weigh in on the conversation once again. Thank you.
But John Henry Falk may have experienced the most profound effect. He was a graduate student when he interviewed the former slaves, including the two women you hear in this broadcast. Himself interviewed just before he died in 1979, Falk was going on about how he believed in giving blacks the right to go to school, giving them the right to vote, giving them the right to go into anything they qualified for. And then he said he experienced an epiphany.
I was sitting out on a wagon tongue with this old black man, and was telling him what a different kind of white man I was. I remember him looking at me very sadly and kind of sweetly and condescending and said, you still got the disease, honey. I know you think you're cured, but you're not cured. You can't give me the right to be a human being. I'm born with that right. Now you can keep me from having that. If you've got all the policemen and all the jobs on your side, you can deprive me of it. But you can't give it to me. Because I was born with it just like you was. And my God, it had a profound effect on me. I was furious with him. But the more I reflected on it, the more profoundly it affected me. And I realized this was where it really was.
Tell you the truth, when I think of it today, I don't know how I'm living.
I remember that just as well. Look like to me, I can.
Been slaves all our lives. My mother was a slave, sister was a slave, father was a slave.
They know nothing about reading right. All that I know, they teach you to mind your master and your missus. Mom and them didn't know where to go. You see, after she would go, just like you turned something out, didn't know where to go.
They are haunting voices from the past, not actors reading a script or scholars reading a text, but the actual voices of men and women, Americans, who were born in slavery.
My name is Fountain Hughes. I was born in Charlottesville, Virginia. My grandfather belonged to Thomas Jefferson. My grandfather was 115 years old when he died. And now I am 101 years old. Some people didn't have no beds when they were slaves. You all slept on the floor. Sat up here and sat up there. Just like a lot of wild people. We didn't know nothing. Didn't like to look at no book.
Harriet Smith, remembering what she saw as a small girl during the final days of the Civil War.
Are you still interested in a solar-powered generator? Because pay special attention, because I'm going to do something that...
We said I stood on that picket fence all day long, seeing them soldiers going back to Silent Zone in different places. Colored soldiers in droves. That's right along by our house. Our home is a two-story house. The white folks.
These recorded memories were among thousands of interviews done with ex-slaves in the 1930s and 40s.
Can you remember slavery days very well?
Of course, I remember all our white folks, and all the names of them, all the children. Call every one of the children's names.
Who did you belong to?
Jim Button, the baby boy.
The results of these digitally enhanced recordings are arresting, almost unbelievable. The idea of hearing the voices of actual slaves from the plantations of the Old South is as powerful, as startling really, as if you could hear Abraham Lincoln or Robert E. Lee speak. Listen again to Fountain Hughes, who was born in 1848.
We were slaves. We belonged to people. They sell us like they sell horses and cows and hogs and all like that. Have an auction bench, and they put you up on the bench and bid on you, the same as you're bidding on cattle, you know.
Much of what these three former slaves say may at first seem unremarkable. Much of what they say may surprise and upset, and their calm demeanor is at odds with the evil and violence we associate with slavery. Here is 91-year-old Texan Laura Smalley talking in the 1940s about the outcome of a tussle between two women, one black, one white, one slave, one mistress. The mistress tried to slap the slave, but the black woman pushed her into a chair. Laura Smalley was a girl at the time, but she remembers vividly what happened to the black woman when the master came home.
Well, they taken that old woman, poor old woman, carried in the peach orchard and whipped her. And, just tied her hand this way, around the peach orchard tree. I remember that just as well, looked like to me, I can, and round the tree and whipped her. And, well, she couldn't do nothing but just kick her feet, just kick her feet. But it just had her clothes off down to her waist, They didn't have her plumb naked, but they had her clothes down to her waist. And every now and then they'd whip her, and then snuff the pipe out on her, snuff pipe out on her. The embers in the pipe, where you ever see the pipe smoking.
Blow them out on her? Mm-hmm. Good Lord, have mercy.
The plantation on which Smalley was a slave sounds brutal. She recalls scrambling with other children for food from a huge wooden tray, like a hog trough.
All of them, would get around that tray with spoons and eat, such like mush or soup or something like that. And all them children get around there and just eat.
Fountain Hughes tells his interviewer about the relentless round of work for him on a Virginia plantation.
Night never comes out. You had nothing to do. Time to cut tobacco. If they want you to cut all night long out in the field, you cut. And if they want you to hang all night long, you hang tobacco. It didn't matter about your tired. Being tired, you're afraid to say you're tired.
It was cotton, not tobacco, that solidified slavery, though. The invention of the cotton gin at the end of the 18th century made its processing easy, but the crop still needed enormous amounts of unskilled labor. Control of the slave and his labor through laws and regulations became paramount. Fountain Hughes talks about one of those controls, the pass system.
Now, I couldn't go from here across the street, or I couldn't go to nobody's house without I have a note or something from my master. And if I had that pass, that was what we call a pass. If I had that pass, I could go wherever he sent me, and I'd have to be back. Whoever he sent me to, they'd give me another pass, and I'd bring that back, so to show how long.
Even emancipation didn't truly free the slaves. Freedom freed slaves for more travail. The end of the Civil War found many cast adrift without skills and no place to go. And the Yankees who freed them weren't always seen as benevolent liberators.
I remember when the Yankees come along and took all the good horses and took all the, sold all the meat and flour and sugar and stuff out in the river and let it go down the river. And they know the people wouldn't have nothing to live on, but they done that.
The ex-slaves left one hell for another, perhaps an even more dangerous one. No longer property, they didn't have the protections afforded property.
When we were slaves, we couldn't do that, see? And if we got free, we didn't know nothing to do. And my mother, she hunted places and bound us out for $1 a month. But we didn't have no property, we didn't have no home. We had nowhere, nothing. We didn't have nothing on it, just like the cattle, we just turned out and get along the best you could.
Don't buy another lottery ticket before you see this. Do you want to know how repeat lottery winners are able to win over and over again?
In Texas, the slaves weren't told they were free until 2 months after the war ended. Smalley remembers that her masters gave the slaves a dinner, and then they were free.
I don't hide the other side of the folks know freedom. We didn't know. They just thought, we're just feeding us, Them didn't know where to go. You see, after freedom broke, just like he turned something out, They didn't know where to go. That's just where they stayed. Didn't know where to go. Turn us out just like, you turn out cattle.
In the narratives, the slaves used an interesting phrase for the end of slavery. They say, when the break came. Good times, easy times were not at hand. The trials for millions of black Americans didn't end in 1865. They continued. Laura Smalley and her family became sharecroppers. Harriet Smith's first husband was killed by whites during the Reconstruction, probably because of his political organizing. Fountain Hughes went north to Baltimore and worked at numerous jobs, including hauling manure. Not an enviable job, but it was the job of a free man.
So there's a few points I'd like to make. First of all, John Henry Falk died in 1990, not 1979. Second, the Texas slaves were freed 2 years after the end of slavery, not 2 months. It just goes to show you that mainstream media didn't and maybe still doesn't care about getting the facts correct. Also, the statement about former slaves being unskilled is not true and a bit condescending. These interviews were part of the Federal Writers Project, which interviewed a lot of people after the Great Depression in the United States. The interviewers were discovering that a lot of the black people they were interviewing were former slaves. So the Slave Narrative Project was an afterthought of the Federal Writers Project and defunded a few years later. It pains me to think of all the stories we missed out on. Leave your comments. Thanks for listening.
So there we go, man. There we go with another one. Now, Fountain Hughes, they got a lot. They got a few things on him. They got a few people that got. Excuse me, y'all. Got a few things on him, man, and so that's real accounts right there.
Well, that's again when you're going against it, you gotta, as I told you when I first told you about it, when you gotta go to that source. It was former slaves who will tell you what it was like. So anybody can go against that again, being crazy. But I think Oprah them did got a little thing on it. It's a bunch of little people who had finally had discovered them writings and had did different I don't even know if you want to call it reenactments of what. I know what Oprah them did is she would have prominent actors of the time reread their whole thing.
Right.
Used to have a book So I'm trying to see if I still got giving away. But it's a book called Slave Narrative.
Yeah, all I'm saying is, man, you got, this, these people, man. I mean, these were people, man. You know what I mean? But to them, you wasn't nowhere near a person, a human. And that's how they looked at us, man.
Yeah, so you gave that recommendation, Gerald, to have a slave account. So that's what I sent to Jamie, man. I went right into it.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, and then look, y'all look at this. So this
Hey,
is this.
just 1 second, Jay. After you share that, man, I think Carrie wants to share something.
Okay, for sure. Hey, okay.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm just gonna go through this real quick.
No, you
Okay.
good.
So this right here is what they call advertisement. This is uh marketing. So they marketing. They was marketing back then, right? Great sale of slaves, January 10th, 1855. There will be offered for sale at public auction at the slave market, Cheapside, Lexington. All the slaves of John Carter, Esquire of Lewis County, Kentucky, on account of his removal removal to Indiana, a free state. The slaves listed below were all raised on the Carter plantation at Quick's Run, Lewis County, Kentucky. So so just like like cows was raised. So these slaves was raised right here on this dude's plantation. So this is what they got for sale. They got 3 bucks, aged from 20 to 26, strong, able-bodied, so they can work. They got 1 wench. Her name is Sally. Her age is 42. She's a good cook. You got another wench, Liz or Liza, probably Liz, age 23, with a 6-month-old pickaninny, right?
A little baby.
She got a little baby. She got a baby with her. And 1 buck, age 52, good kennel man. So he's a good worker. And they got 17 bucks, aged from 12 to 20, and they all excellent. All right. And now the terms down here is strictly cash at sale, as owner must realize cash owing to him, removal to West, looks like, offers for the entire let will be entertained previous to sale by addressing the undersigned. And this is John Carter, Esquire. So I'm just showing y'all one of the some of the flyers they had out, announcing the sales that'll be coming up.
Ain't that some shit?
Go ahead, Queen.
I'm sorry, I had to get off for just a few minutes. I needed to see that. I would think that any person that believes themselves to be a Christian should watch these, to watch this whole video and see what Christianity did to folks, to people, human beings. It's appalling, and the greed and the that is not was never my idea of being a Christian, and yet you fall right into it when you are practicing Christianity. And so I'd love to show it to a ton of members of my family and see how they feel. You know, I talked to a couple of them and they were like, "Oh yeah, well that was a long time ago." Really? You know, it just blows my mind. Anyway, I'm really glad to be here. I got a splitting headache and I'm gonna get back off, but I wanted to explain and to thank you guys. You know, it feels good to start knowing myself in a true manner and to have my eyes opened. And I appreciate all of you, that all the stuff you've contributed to this presentation, and I want to continue to learn. Thank you.
For sure, Queen. Thank you. Thank you. For sure. Thank you.
Yeah, you know, and then the majority of the people, man, in Christianity or Judaism or Islamic, I imagine, you know, that's not their mindset either. But that's the kind of, like Jamie said, you putting bread in the plate, man. You funding all this shit, right? And so, you know, that's the problem. And then you got that, you know, these people that propagated all this stuff, man. I mean, that's generational, right? And it shows through. I don't want my kids to see it, right? You know, and it's really just telling them stay barbaric, right?
No, they don't want to be reminded, you know what I'm saying, of this is this shit come from what you practice, what you call your all holy and all, you know, all perfect religion. This is what your religion did. This is what that all perfect, all good, you know, loving God did. This what your loving God did. You know what I mean? This I mean, not, you know, but, and not even God, but these people that's
the officials
using God as a tool of power. And that's what they did. They everybody got to be Christian or you're gonna die. I mean, but you know, and you can't take that from the Muslims the same way. They did the same thing, man. If you wasn't Muslim, you was dying. You know what I'm saying? So it all goes to, you know, these people are the same people, man. They just they just changed their names. That's all. And one, you know, all they did was just change the same people. They just changed their names, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all. They the same damn people, man. They just, you know, at some point they changed their name. But Judaism was here before all this shit was here, and they set the stage. They set the stage, and this is the stage that they set right here. This is the stage that they set. That's it. That's, you know, I mean, here go another one. Look at this. Now some slaves. They done ran off. We got some slaves that done ran off now. Right, $200 reward. Right, runaway from a subscriber on the night of Thursday, the 30th of September. 5 Negro slaves, to wit, 1 Negro man, his wife, and 3 children. The man is a black Negro, full height, very erect. His face a little thin. He is about 40 years of age and calls himself Washington Reed and is known by the name of Washington. He is probably well dressed, possibly takes with him an ivory-headed cane and is of good address. Several of his teeth are gone. Mary, his wife, is about 30 years of age, a bright mulatto woman, and quite stout and strong. The oldest of the children is a boy. The name is Fielding, 12 years of age, a dark mulatto with heavy eyelids. He probably wore the new clothes cap. Matilda, The second child is a girl, 6 years of age, rather a dark mulatto, but a bright and smart looking child. Malcolm, the youngest, is a boy, 4 years old, a lighter mulatto than the last, and about equally as bright. He probably also wore a cloth cap. Uh, and if examined, he will be found to have a swelling at the navel. Washington and Mary have lived at or near St. Louis with the subscriber for about 15 years. It is supposed that they are making their way to Chicago and that a white man accompanies them, that they will travel chiefly at night and probably in a covered wagon. A reward of 150 will be paid for their apprehension, so that I can get them if taken within 100 miles of St. Louis, and 200 if taken beyond that and secured, so I can get them and other responsible additional charges if delivered to the subscriber or to Thomas Allen Esquire at St. Louis, Missouri. The above Negroes for the last few years have been in possession of Thomas Allen Esquire of St. Louis. So they put out a flyer about this family that ran off and escaped, and they want them back.
Right.
You feel me? So that's you know.
Yeah, they want them back because they lazy, man. They don't want to do nothing. They don't know how to pick no cotton. You know, I bet they didn't even go out there and show them, here, this is how you do it. Now go out there and figure it out.
Hey, but I'm gonna tell you like that. Okay, so like, go ahead.
I was gonna say pick cotton, cook, clean, everything. Every chore was given to them. And that's horrible. And I wanted to say one other thing. You mentioned about passing, the plate around for offerings at church. And when I was growing up, my grandma's sister had 3 pews at the front of the church, and no one dared to sit there because she donated almost $50,000 a year to the church. And I would say to my grandma, well, why aren't you sitting up there? And she said, I don't want to be with them. And that was, I never understood. I understand now. I really do. You know, maybe she knew something that I didn't know, that she didn't share with me. I don't know. I loved her with all my heart, and she was a really good woman who gave a lot to the community and to the mentally handicapped, and devoted her life to that. And she's who got me in my line of work that I followed my entire life. And anyway, but you're right. Everybody that puts $1 in that damn offering plate is just getting well, yeah. And I think of all the times I, sometimes put $100 bill in there, when I had a little extra, and I thought it was the right thing.
Remember we was in church and I was gonna take that 100 back out.
Yeah. And I wish you would have. Yeah, I do. But okay, that's it for me. But I just wanted to share those things, and thank you guys again.
For sure, Queen. For sure, you're the man. For sure. I mean, I just trying to bring some context to the slavery thing, and just to show that there was no way that the slaves gained any kind of skills, and it was beneficial for the slave in any kind of way. Right? That's what
absolutely
beneficial in any kind of way, right? I mean, look at what they did to this brother, man. And he's for sale. And this brother is for sale right here. So they're auctioning this brother off right now. That's what they're doing. They're auctioning this brother off right here. He's being auctioned off, man. And then look at the people in the back. Look at him.
With his elongated member.
But I mean, but just
That's
understand.
detestable.
But just understand though. But just look at the people behind him, man. And you know what I'm saying? Look at them, man. Like, they're very, very proud of this. They're very proud of this, man. They're so proud they took pictures, King. This man's for sale, man.
Christianity stands on that proudness as well. You know, they got a whole dictation of, you know, slaves be obedient to your master.
But they were so proud, King. Like, you know, don't tell me that you're not proud. I mean, listen, like, you know, you don't want African history, you know, taught anymore. Like, I know you're not. I know you're not embarrassed of this. You guys were really, really proud people when it came to this. Don't stop now, right? I mean, they were so proud. I mean, these are Christian people. Look at this. These people are for sale. Look at all these people participating in the auctions, man. Look at these people, how they participate.
Stop. What's the narrative about those people, though? They are the who?
The damn enemy.
They're the Christians.
They the barbarian. They are what they already claim them to be. So it's okay. We are actually carrying forth what we said we were supposed to do. We know the Pope already said they barbarian. The Pope said they already gonna be doing their culture is anti-Christian, whatever that might be. They already judging the culture without even knowing what it is. Just because it ain't Christian don't mean they don't got. Again, that's what again do. It mean we don't have no morality, or what is this charge automatically against us just because we're not Christian? And y'all know we're not Christians. So it's a double concept of, as we said earlier, you're in this greed stage. Now again, another narrative should be thrown away. They'll always say the Africans was already engaged in what?
Slavery.
Y'all got an order out saying to do this to them regardless. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You with me? Even before y'all even come in contact with them. Some of y'all try to put, well, that shit, slavery did something. No, y'all got this thing, an order act, a religious decree from the top.
That's right. That's where they come from.
And y'all get their land. And y'all descendants keep that land. It ain't just for y'all. If y'all descendants get on that land too, it becomes theirs too. Y'all discovered it. You know, all they got to be is non-Christian. That's easy to say. If we're going to get some land behind it, they did it to whole continents. The whole continents. You know, so slavery is the acceptance of, yeah, these are the barbarians. We can't do it. They are, you know, they ought to be happy whatever we do to them. They ought to be happy we bring in Christianity to them. We are superior. They are inferior. Any of these people, these natives, they are inferior. Whatever they doing is wrong. We got the truth. They got the bull crap, whatever they doing. You know? So it's a justification. Most people would think that, okay, if Christianity supposed to have been the truth, it should be able to go tell people and they should be able to accept it or reject it. Y'all really forced it upon people. I really never had a chance. I really never had a fair chance to say whether I wanted it or not. Right. You killed all my ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Let me find out what they were, and the same thing as you saying. If you don't believe it's us, you going to hell, right? Think about Revelation and what the Christian's belief is of today if you're a Christian and Revelation coming. When Jesus come back, if you don't believe that in Jesus, that's your ass.
Right, you dead again. They're gonna kill your ass again. So that
That's the
shit.
Christian belief. That's not the Muslim belief. That's not the Judaism belief, but that's the Christian belief that Jesus coming back on that clock, all that Revelation stuff.
No,
They
but
looking
then
for
now
the signs now.
don't forget Muhammad's supposed to come back on the spiritual, but on the spiritual donkey. Don't forget he's supposed to come back.
But again,
So,
that's
yeah,
why the Muslims got their own different one.
yeah.
You with me?
I'm just
But if
saying, but it's the same
you gotta separate you when you lump them together, they gonna automatically say they Abrahamic faiths, but they are the Jews killed according to the thing, the Jews killed Christians, not the Christians killed Christians. The Jews said, hell no, you ain't our savior, and they killed them. The Christians said, that's the shit. You know what I'm saying? And y'all negative because y'all hard-headed because y'all killed the thing. Y'all killed the Messiah. Y'all don't believe. Y'all truly not believers. They cast the whole thing on them. Y'all ain't even true believers. Muslims came back later, and all of them had the same root, but the Muslims say, man, the one that y'all call Jesus is just a prophet. He ain't no son of God. And Muhammad is the last prophet. That's why you saying Muhammad supposed to come back. But if the Christians saw Muhammad coming back on that, they would say that's the false, that's the anti-God or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They got different,
And the Muslims say the same thing about Jesus. Well, they believe Jesus is gonna come back too, though.
No, it wouldn't be like the end like Muhammad was. Jesus is a prophet, but he ain't Muhammad. Don't get them. That's why I'm saying they different.
No, you're right. What I'm saying though is listen, man. Look, I don't give a damn how you spin it, right? You can spin it how you want to spin it, right? Look, with Judaism, okay, you got it, and then Christianity come from Judaism, and then from Christianity comes Islam. They come off of each other, right? They spin off from each other. That's all they are, right? So and so it's only because the Christian, so you know what I'm saying. So one didn't like something, and then the other didn't like, and then you got another people that just come from a whole nother damn way. They came from a whole different side. They come from over there, Khazaria and Turkey and all that shit over there. That's where that's where them cats come from. I'm saying, yeah, they're different, but they got the same. They believe in the same cats, man.
Right.
They believe in Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They believe in Jesus Christ, Mary, and Joseph. They believe in Moses. They believe in all them cats. And they have to. But guess what? The Christians don't have to believe in Muhammad. See, this is why I said that, and the Jews don't have to believe in Muhammad. So that's why I said, but they better believe in Jesus. But they better believe in Jesus, or they wasn't gonna be able to have that shit.
No, they don't have to believe in Jesus. Not the Jews. Yeah. They don't.
Who don't? No, I'm talking about who don't. No, but they recognize Jesus. They may not recognize him in the same context, but they all three of them recognize him.
No. You might have Jews for Jesus that recognize Jesus, but the Jews don't recognize Jesus because it didn't happen. The world would be over. The same thing that Jesus supposed to be coming on the second coming and the world ends was the first time he supposed to came for the Jews. It wasn't that he supposed to came, get sacrificed, and then come back again. So they reject any of that. That's what they rejected on. That ain't what they said supposed to happen. That ain't never happened to them. So it couldn't have been that one. That's why they reject Jesus.
I ain't
They
never
got
know
nothing to
them to
do with
reject
that.
Jesus. I know that they recognize Jesus.
If
They don't
they accept
recognize
Jesus,
him
they
as
will be
they don't
Christian.
recognize him as God. No, they don't. They don't recognize him as God, but they do recognize him as being uh 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 uh, the son of Mary, right? So they recognize him. It's just so do Islam. They recognize him. They don't recognize him in the same context, but they
They don't get
recognize
into
him.
nothing about no Jesus within Judaism. I'm talking about Moses and all of them. That is they major things. They don't get into that. They don't Moses and David and all that Solomon.
What I'm saying is, I understand that, but what I'm saying is, the Jews still recognize Jesus as a historical person. They think that Mary was a whore. Some of them think that Mary was a whore, and because they say that she had Jesus out of wedlock. So this is what their beef is about. Some of their beef is about. That's all that is, man. But they recognize Jesus. They don't recognize him in the same context as the Christians, just like the Muslims don't recognize him as the same as the Christians. But they recognize him.
And again, from my understanding, that's where they break off and you don't say that they're the same. You can say they have similarities, but they got different days they worship. They make sure that they don't exchange, they got the same, they don't have the same, their money ain't the same, their temples is called something different. They holy figures, you know, and again, when by saying Abrahamic faiths, Abraham gonna automatically become something within them. No ifs, ands, and buts. But when they look up to the highest of the connections, just like say Muslims, really they look at uh what's his goddamn name?
Allah.
Muhammad. But in reality, they don't gotta go through nobody but to be Allah. They can connect straight to Allah. But in some of their creeds, they say that Muhammad is his last messenger and this type of thing. You know, they'll say they'll bad words like that there. But you know, at the end, ain't nothing. They got Akbar Allah, ain't nothing greater than Allah. They don't play that.
Right, in which they got that concept from where? That shit come from that come from Abraham. That concept, all that same concept. So you got Jesus and God, you got Muhammad and Allah. Same
deal with the Christian
it's the
creed.
same story, but the different characters. That's all it is.
But if you deal with a Christian creed, they gonna have to bear witness about how they believe in Jesus and how believe Jesus is connected with the God some kind of way in this Trinity thing. But the Islam don't have none shit like that, nor do Judaism. They got different creeds as far as what they believe in, what's their foundational belief.
Well, I'm saying they still got Muhammad, and then Muhammad is the last messenger, right? Ain't that what they say?
They all have them. They all have them. Jesus, Judaism got
Jesus. That's
Moses,
right. He was the
got
last
Moses.
messenger.
Christianity
You know
got
what I'm saying?
Jesus,
You got Buddha. He was the last messenger. I mean, so you got them. Like I said, you got all these cats. They come off of each other. It's all the same. It's just different characters. It's the same story though. Different characters, same concept, different characters. You might have like I said, you got Jesus and God on the Christian side. You got Muhammad and Allah on the Muslim side. You know what I'm saying? You got Mother Mary. What is it?
Moses.
Who they got? Moses and who else is it?
That's it. Pretty much Moses was the one
for the Judaism.
The father, yes.
For Judaism, okay. So you got Moses for Judaism. So I'm just saying, but all three of them recognize everybody in the picture.
But here's the thing: you mentioned earlier that you said that Jews recognize Jesus. They don't recognize Jesus as no holy figure. They
No,
and they
but they
also they
recognize
don't.
him as a historical figure. I said.
Well, they don't discount that. All they say, their perspective is the way that Christians see Jesus goes against monotheism. That's what they say. At the same time, but it's a contradiction because at the same time, to me, well, they look at Moses as their father of them, but they say people in the Christian faith praise Jesus, worship Jesus. And that's where the argument comes in between the Jews. They don't worship a cat named Jesus. They don't see him as someone worthy of worship, like Christians do. And surely Islam don't.
Well, I don't know what what I would have to do is see if they think that Jesus and Yeshua is the same person, because and I believe, but I think that they're referring to
Well, even
Jesus when they're talking about
that was just a
Yeshua.
term. If they just was describing or talking about this figure, they would speak of it in their language, which would mean Yeshua maybe. But they don't see that figure as somebody who worthy of worship. Yeah,
No, I didn't say that. I said, but they recognize him. I'm saying that he's recognized in their pantheon.
Again, now this is all of
no,
that
not,
is
not it
dealing
wouldn't be
with
in their pantheon.
eschatology at the
It
end,
wouldn't be
the
in their
end
pantheon.
times. He don't meet the criteria for them for it to be the end time.
No.
That's
That's
why
why I said that's why I said that they don't believe in him in the same context, right? It's a different context, but they recognize him.
Not as a deity, not as a holy figure, none of that. You don't look at
Right,
him and surely don't look at
right,
him as part of a pantheon.
right.
No.
Now, the Muslims looks at him as a prophet from of God, a messenger,
Right. A person,
right?
right.
Just like they think,
Right.
just, you know what I'm saying, right?
Like Muhammad.
It's just like Muhammad, exactly. Right, exactly. But then you got the Jews that don't look at him like that, but they recognize Jesus Christ. I mean Jesus, as they called him.
But the Jews are still going off the Talmud, right?
They're going on.
Babylonian.
They're most of Old Testament.
Right. So in what context would they recognize Jesus if they go by Old Testament? What context would they recognize in their faith? They don't.
Yeah, they scriptures
no
don't tell
history.
them nothing. They don't come. That's what I'm trying to say. They
So
don't.
what you're saying is, so what you're saying is the Jews. So Jesus is nowhere in the Jewish pantheon at all.
No, they don't look at him like that. I'm looking at I've read that before, but I pulled something up right now. No, they look at that cat as just no. He said, "Here's is in the Jewish perspective. The way Christians see Jesus goes against monotheism, belief in the absolute unity and singularity of God, which is central to Judaism."
So what you're saying is they don't. So he don't exist to the Jewish community.
No, not in the sense that he stands on the same altar as God.
No, that's yeah, I just wanted to be clear, because I'm not saying that. That's why I said that each one of these denominations look at Jesus differently than the other one does. Is what I'm saying. Like Christianity looks at Jesus differently than the than Islam does. They don't look at him in the same context, right?
Yeah.
Because one of them think that he's a deity, right, and the other one just thinks that he's just a messenger.
Right. Jewish people at best believe that he could have been Jewish based on his birthright, based on being born of a Jewish mother, and in Galilee, which is a Jewish part of the world. So based on that, they'll say, okay, yeah, we'll give you that. There's a guy who was speaking out against,
That's it.
speaking the gospel. Yeah, they see that.
That's it. But he wasn't no deity, no
No.
like no God or
Or
no.
anyone worthy
Right.
of praise.
I understand
He
that.
wasn't going to share no throne, no throne in their eyes, nor in the Islam eyes. They weren't going to share no throne with the Creator. Only in Christianity, he's sharing the damn throne with the Creator.
So I want to know. I want to know. Just maybe I don't care who responds. Everybody can respond if necessary. But I want to know, who do you guys think Jesus is? And I'll tell you who the fuck I think he is.
I think that he's a God. He's an imagination. I think he's a poof in the sky or a thought. He's an idea. That's what I think he is. That's what I think. I think he was an idea that got voted into the state-sponsored religion.
Jesus came from Horus. The concept of the sun, image of the sun, idea of the sun. That's where the concept of Jesus from. Never no man born in no manger, all that shit. It was about about the sun.
When you mention Horus, are you referring to Haru, or are you referring to the Greek terminology?
Well, Horus, so everyone understands, but yeah, the same one you would call Heru. Yeah, Horus, but the Greek terminology, either one. So because if you look at, and I was just watching a video about that too, because Greeks had no language themselves. They adopted language from the Africans who they encountered. So if through their dialect they began to change words, but they just even so just check that out. But anyway, yeah, Heru, just the sun, the sun. That's where it came from.
Yeah,
Gerald?
And
Yeah,
go ahead, Eric. Go ahead, Eric.
And that was it. And majority of the stories are talking about, again, constellations. We can't forget that, or the movement of the sun and the moon. A lot of stuff yeah. So, yeah,
that's right.
That's all I got. Man. Right. That's it. That's right. what I understand.
What you got, Gerald?
What's the question again?
Who do you think Jesus is?
Jesus Christ of the Bible.
It's just a concept. They try to pin it on historical people, but even that don't work in reality. So, it's mythology trying to be historicalized, from my understanding. I don't take figures like that as historical. That's born from virgins, the different things. So no, it's regurgitated mythology.
From where? Where it come from?
Many different, like I said, many different things. You can, when we're dealing with Jesus, you got connect some of it to the Assyrian mythology. But if you do comparative and just deal with solar myths, it deals with a solar deity or a solar mythology, or astrotheology is a better connection to dealing with that concept of Jesus. But I never could find out historically when people try to connect me to somebody historically. Not me in my research,
Yeah. So dude, I'm sitting here thinking, man, it's so far off the mark. The description of Jesus is so far off the mark. Not you guys, but the universal, I guess, is so far off the mark of a set in Haru that it just turns my stomach to even correlate it to a set in Haru. You know, they corrupted it so much, you know. And so I'd say it comes from that Greek ideology as well. You know, and the purpose that comes from that. And it's totally separate from you know, the Assyrian information, you know, setting the rule and what they stood for and the purpose, the intent, and how we used it. That, you know, crediting it towards. I'm not saying I won't. I'm just saying I'm just sitting here contemplating, man, and that that's like a disrespect to even claim it as our shit. You know, as they took it from ours, right? They created their own shit, and of course we know that they had to get it from somewhere. So, you know, that's why I say I won't say totally that won't be saying that. But it's so corrupted, you know what I mean? And it's so, and then all the stuff that we seen on the presentation, you know, and the purpose for it, and they misuse, you know, God and, you know, whatever they want to draw from, right? And just totally disown their own behaviors and their interests, you know, and put it on, reap the benefits from it, but put it on something other than them, just like their ideology of, you know, God in the Bible and him sending messengers instead of him doing his own work, lying in the damn, lying in our Garden of Eden and shit. Hey, thank you guys for answering that question, man. I mean, I already knew where you stood anyways, but I thought it was good for people to hear. See,
But I just wanted to show this one, man, to show how proud these cats is. Look at them, man. Look at the faces. Look at their faces, man. These cats is really, really, really proud of this, man. Like this is you know, you can't make this stuff up, man.
Yeah. You know, you got black Christians that say, you know, this is Photoshopped, right?
Yeah,
Man,
okay.
that's the audacity. That's some audacity right there.
Yeah, you know, you should, you know, I wish you could have told their mothers that.
Right.
I wish you could have told their mothers that. You know, I wish whoever said that. I wish, you know, I wish you could have been there to explain that shit to their mothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, yeah, that ain't real. It's just Photoshop. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
you got two ways you have to look at it. It's vigilante. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost. You with me?
Barbaric.
Well,
yeah.
He's right though, vigilante though. You know, they probably claimed that the brothers did something.
That go your next thing. That when you lead into vigilante, all they had to do was listen to the claim. The person could have been guilty, might have, might not have, but then that's when you look into that story and you hear all these falsities, usually some about some sexual thing, right?
Right.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Go back to what you said, Uncle, earlier, going back to that religious thing with the Talmud, with our elongated behavior, our elongated members.
Yeah.
If you listen to them stories, most of the time, at any lynching, what would they do dealing with our private?
Chop it.
To throw it away or what? Somebody gonna keep it.
Oh shit.
When they chopped off ears, these were souvenirs, ears, penises. Yeah. They kept these type of things.
That's right, they did. They were souvenirs.
Right.
That's right.
But they definitely would attack. They would definitely attack the genital area. And Dr. Frances Quest-Relson gets more into it when she deals with dealing with the ISIS paper and dealing with genetic annihilation. They've always charged us with that. You know what I'm saying?
I even hate to see the little balls hanging from the trailer hitch. You know what I mean? You ever seen that?
Yeah, that's very, you always know it's a clown that's doing it, that is being very disrespectful.
Yeah. So I got one last one, man. This one was taken. This one right here was taken definitely after slavery. This was definitely after slavery, but this is like a postcard. It's like a postcard right here. You know what I'm saying? So this was taken in 1908 in Kentucky. Right. This motherfucker, this a postcard though. It ain't funny, man, but this a postcard, homie. Hey, King, this a postcard right here. Hey, so I'm just saying, man, like this is they was really proud of this, but now all of a sudden, uh, they done made a law here in Florida. I'm here in Florida, family, and so like now they done made a law to where now it's against the law to teach Black African history, right? Hey, because they don't want people to be uncomfortable. But what but they were so you were so proud at one time, just trying to figure out what happened. What happened? What happened to all that? Being so boastful. I mean, man, they made sure that they crowded. They got as many people as they possibly could in those pictures around them brothers and sisters hanging. You know what I'm saying? And they was just, like I said, they was really proud people, man. They was proud of that. Now, now it's a problem, and I'm just trying to figure out what changed, what happened, and why are you so embarrassed of, you know, your history. You know, that's. So that's the end of my presentation, family, panel, uh, brothers, sisters. Yeah, that's the end of it, man. Uh, that's it, man.
Appreciate it. Good job. Good job. Appreciate the information that you brought forth, brother Jamie. Starting out with the concept of why we should be enslaved. Simply because we didn't believe and they wanted our land. So without us even knowing, doing our own thing, minding our own business, somebody coming on your land and they claiming your shit, claiming you to be inferior, claiming you to be barbaric, and it's a own. So even if you greet them as friendly, if you invite them in their mind, it's the takeover. You just don't know yet. It's hard to accept because it's coming from a historical view. Sometimes you'll think we just accepted Christianity. No, it was forced upon us. It was forced upon our ancestors. It's simply because our ancestors weren't Christian. You don't got to force nothing on nobody, who dealing with it. So this is something that y'all created. This is y'all brand of it. I know some people want to argue about Christianity started in Africa and this they brand. And there might be some churches in Africa, and I understand about the Coptic. That ain't what we talking about. So we got these popes that you got a true history that you can look on to say, well, why are we enslaved? And why were there even wars or conquests? Because it's behind religion. All that shit go back to the Christian, the Pope and everything. They get power. All you got to do is go get it. Go get it and claim it for him. And one of the last ones he told, hey, you people of Spain and you people of Portugal, y'all don't fight. I'm gonna draw this line.
And they go that line right there.
That's this
one Unc just sent me right here.
Yeah, I'm finna draw this line. And y'all over here take this here. And y'all over that, y'all ain't gotta fight. But we finna land jet. As I was talking to you earlier, they get mad about carjacking. Now we finna land jet.
That's right.
And we finna human jet. We finna human traffic too.
That's right. at a major level.
And we're finna superhuman traffic and use people for whatever we want to. We heard the people's stories. They would just use the cattle, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we're finna human traffic these people, and we're gonna take this land. And whenever we show whatever we're doing to them in Africa or in America, these are people who are, as we call them, beasts, brutal. They don't know no better. So, you know, as long as we Christians and we doing this to them, we doing the right thing. You know, and that's what they stood on. And later our people believed that Christianity was something that was, as they look back in the Bible, and the disciples or the apostles supposed to went out and happily spread it, and people would just accept Christianity, and no. That ain't what happened. That ain't what happened. That ain't what happened to our ancestors. And again, when you giving this information, you can choose to still, because again, as everybody got somebody in their family that is a good person at heart, try to do all the good things that a Christian should do. Everybody had a grandmother, mama, or something like that, auntie, that, from their heart was nice. Try to do all those different things. But we just talking about the history. The history. And we still hear about some of the evil things that is done within the church. We all hear about it. It ain't stopped. We hear about the Catholic priests now, about all the sexual things that they do to the young kids.
For sure.
That ain't never stopped.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't even slowed down. They just know they just hide it good.
Right. So again, appreciate the information you brought forth. It ain't an attack. It's just information. Anybody can research, and maybe ask you, if you're one that's still going to church, ask your people in church you don't know about it, and how do they feel about it?
Right.
And see if people are trying to excuse it, see if they already knew about it, why they don't, And again, and some of the comments were said earlier, this barbaric thing, what were we doing? Even when they found us, that was so negative and anti-spiritual. When we look at us and we know we are spiritual people, what were we supposedly been doing wrong? And the same thing I had said last week when I was bringing to my presentation. What were our people doing wrong? And at this time, nothing. We just got a war put on us just because we were practicing our own thing. Simple as that. With that, I yield the floor. Again, appreciate that, Jamie.
Yeah, man. Like I said, shit. We gotta pay attention to this, man. Like to I mean, it wasn't a bad presentation, man. But like I said, King, just did like Gerald said, family, do the research if you're interested. You will see where the orders is coming from, where the ideas is, where the ideas is coming from, how it's coming about, who's put it in motion, what I'm saying, who's executing them, you know what I mean, executing these orders, you know what I mean, and just find out what these papal bulls are, and how important they are to the Roman nation, right? But yeah, man, yeah, yeah, thanks though, man. Yeah, this wasn't too bad, man. But that's the end of it though. I'll mute yourself.
Hey, that was more than not too bad, man. That was real good, man. that's gonna stir up a lot of something in somebody. You know what I mean? But the cue is to research. Research and find a community that you can talk about and learn from and okay, we got you, Gerald, and be able to move the way that you're free to move in. So welcome to Sankofa again, Jamie, man. Big ups to you, man, and everybody, the whole panel that participated, man, and yeah, come on back next week for the children's show. There's a lot to research, and especially in the beginning part where Jamie showed the receipts, the Wikipedia sources, and there's a lot within that to research, and I was all in the Levant and everything, man. I was all over the place in that, just on one of those. All right, so big ups to you, Jamie.
Appreciate it, man. Hey, Eric, you want to say something, King?
Oh yeah, for what I was able to grasp, man, it was good information that I seen. I was in and out, so yeah, I missed it all, but I know you dropped it down.
Appreciate it, man. Hey, okay, man. So look, man, we can go ahead and get on off, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Good timing. We ain't do bad timing either, man. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Hey, so listen, hey Eric, man. Hey, so listen, I tell you what, we just hold on a minute, before y'all get off, man.
Yeah, Gerald said he got about 3 more minutes left.
Okay, yeah, I see him. Hey, family, listen, man. Don't forget first Sunday, the next what is it? Next Sunday, right?
Yeah.
It's next Sunday, right?
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday, man. We got the children's book read. We got the final 2 episodes of Black Sands coming up to y'all. And then after that, man, we're gonna get right back on track on the reading thing. All right, fam. But just bring the kids, man. Bring the nieces, nephews, grandkids, kids. Bring them all. Participate, man. We ain't asking for no money. We don't need, we ain't asking for nothing. We ain't want no cash apps or no PayPal and none of the other stuff that they got going on over there. All we asking for is just to participate, man. And and if you participate, put your name in the chat. We spin the wheel. You win the prize. If it lands on your name, we're gonna mail you a book straight to your house, man, free of charge to you, man. And these are good books, you know what I'm saying? These not no real cheap books, man. These good quality books, man, that we mail to the kids, man, and it don't cost you nothing. And it's about, look at this, right? This is about Benin, Kingdom of Benin, right here. This giving this giving our the family a chance to see about the queen right there, man. Ida, right? And then look, you got another brother right here. Look at that, Imhotep, right? Look at that. Look at that, man. See, y'all ain't gonna better beat that, man. Y'all gotta go ahead and come on in. Good quality books, man. They're not bad books, man. Unc got books. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, man, just participate. We just trying to show y'all some real history. You know what I'm saying? Real people. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm in Florida. They said that slaves benefited from slavery. You know what I'm saying? And and I guess it helped them in some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just showing you that I don't see how and where the benefit was other than to the United States and the Portuguese and the Spanish. You know what I mean? And everybody else that had their hands in on it. You know what I mean? That's where the benefit was. The slaves never benefited for any of that. Okay, family, because our brothers and sisters was doctors and scientists that they stole from Africa, man. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't born to be slaves, right? We built the pyramids. Understand that. You know what I'm saying? We gave the world science, mathematics. We gave them, writing. You know what I'm saying? We gave the world a lot of things. How can that benefit us in any kind of way? What I showed y'all, What was the benefit in that? Who benefited? Yeah, it sure wasn't the slaves. It sure wasn't the Africans. It sure wasn't the Africans, family. Hey, so anyway, man, thanks for joining us, man. Hey, we're gonna sign out, man. Hey, y'all want to go and kick it out?
Hey, I just want to say this one thing, man. So are you gonna start the wheel spin when we start reading books again, or are you doing it next week? Regardless.
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it. We can do it.
When we start reading again.
Yeah.
Okay, bet.
So y'all want to close out, King?
Yeah,
Peace
yeah.
out, fam. Good chat with y'all.
Yeah, you know, thanks to anybody that's gonna pay attention to this, man. Joe, thank you, Eric. Thank you, Jamie, man. Big ups to you, King.
Peace out, everybody.
All right.
All right, family.